as we can. I'll call on you too, so the person on deck can be ready with their question. Let's start with Seth Emerson and go to Steve Hummer after that.
JT, no secret that y'all been banged up a little bit at receiver and tight end this preseason, obviously getting some guys back. How is that affecting continuity, planning, all that rolling into this game?
That's a good question. We have, I've been talking about it a lot. We have a lot of guys, first of all, a lot of guys I feel comfortable with. And being with, just the amount of work that we got in the off season, guys missing a couple days here, or, you got guys rolling in and out, however it is. We have the rapport that, we've been building over time. So there's no concerns from that for me.
Yeah, JT, DJ at the ACC Media Days talked a little bit about the kind of the culture shock of coming from California to Southern football. First of all, what was that experience? Did you feel some of that yourself? And how have you, I guess, adjusted to becoming kind of the focal point of all this passion down here?
There definitely is. Just football is just, another thing on the West Coast, I would say is kind of how it felt versus football being the thing here. I remember driving in, it was the first thing I remember from being in Georgia. When my family and I drove from Atlanta airport to Athens, just seeing the Georgia flag flying, the Georgia Bulldog flag flying everywhere. And just really getting to experience what it's like, having football be such a main focal point and such a communal aspect. But for me, I've loved it since I've got here, and I still do. I've been vocal about how much I just really love being here and the way that it functions. For me, it really wasn't much of an adjustment. That's how I've been my whole life.
Okay, let's go to Mike Griffith, followed by Mark Schleybaugh.
JT, two questions for you. One, just how big of a factor is a guy like John Fitzpatrick in the offense? And then two, just kind of your mental clock as far as the pass rush coming in, now adjusting to the ACC to now, or excuse me, the SEC to now.
First with Fitz, Fitz and I are great friends, have been since I got here. And having a guy that's, where he's going to be, he knows all his assignments, he'll fix, something that you don't think about, but not everything comes in right from the sideline. Sometimes, there's a lot of variables in running an offense. And a guy like Fitz that always knows, what we're really trying to do is a guy plays a big role in fixing, the small mistakes or, miscommunications, having him, and of course, athletically, I think he's underrated in terms of what he can do as a pass catcher and as a blocker. I'm excited to see what Fitz will do this year. And then in terms of the mental clock, of course, there's an elite pass rush in the SEC, and with a team like Clemson, they're no different. I've always tried to get the ball out, get the ball in the right guy's hands. But as I've matured, I think I've gotten out quicker.
JT, just your thoughts on Clemson's defense, obviously, regarded as having one of the top defensive lines in the country. What kind of challenges do they present to you guys?
All around good, really elite defense. I think I respect the way they play up front, especially. I think they really get after it. They play hard. They're not just a talent team that gets by on talent. They compete, they work, and they strain, and they do a great job of it. Just commands a lot of respect. I think all around defensively, they got players at every position. Everybody that plays on that defense belongs on that defense. And, they execute their game plan. They play hard and they strain. They're going to be a good challenge.
Okay, let's go to Paul Newberry, followed by Mark Weiser.
JT, how does it feel this year? Just more the comfort level, not like fighting for a job, not at a new school, not trying to learn a new system, with competing for a job where you sort of knew you had the job right from the outset.
Yeah, everything you said makes you a lot more comfortable. Absolutely. Just the rep total that you get, and the increase in your role among the team increases the influence you have over, what we do offensively, and with the guys, how we run routes, how we protect certain things that we do. So for me, it's a pretty big difference in terms of how I feel coming into week one, and I think how the offense is going to feel and look coming into week one.
JT, obviously you started a full season at Southern Cal and the last 4 games of last year. This would seem to be the biggest stage for you yet in college and the biggest test maybe. Do you view it as that, and how do you approach it?
I approach it the same way I approach anybody else, which would be it's another game of football. And I think everyone, Georgia and Clemson should see it the same way. As big and as cool as this game is, it's week one. It's you can beat Clemson by 100 and lose the rest of the season, not make the SEC. Clemson could win by 100, and you could, we could lose to Clemson by 100 and then win the SEC, and everything goes our way. In terms of this game specifically, I think it's an awesome stage, great competition. It's a great way to see where we're at, see what we need to improve on. I'm sure Clemson will see it the same way. And, we go from there, play our game, and then as soon as that game's over, we're focused on UAB.
Okay, let's go to Mark Bradley, followed by David Pascal.
JT, do you expect either team to win by 100?
Do not expect either team to win by 100 points. No, it's more hyperbole there.
JT, kind of building off the big stage, what's the most nervous you've ever been going into a game? And if that's Pee Wee League or Matter Day or whatever the case may be, and you sound pretty grounded, how do you combat nerves when you're talking about a top 5 showdown that people have been talking about for months?
Yeah, I'd say the most nervous I've been was Texas. My freshman year playing at Texas, there's 104,000 in the stands. And that was my first time really experiencing crowd noise. You got to scream to tell your running back that's a foot away from you, what to do. It was unbelievable. But even then, after about the first drive or the first couple plays, you really start to calm down naturally. I think my best way of dealing with nerves is just understanding what nerves are. And it's just your body's response to, knowing that you're doing something that means something to you and something that matters. And just to breathe through it and, be excited for the moment. The way that you approach it with your perspective makes a big difference compared to if the nerves are going to, bring you down or help build you up.
Okay, let's go to Brandon Sudds, followed by Chip Towers.
Hey, JT, I mean, we obviously haven't had the chance to speak to you since media day, but I saw the video you did with SEC Network about kind of your mental health and the stuff that you've overcome over the last couple of years. Now that you're in your first full season of football since 2018, I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of expand on that more and kind of dive into how you've overcome some of those struggles with mental health through the injury and things like that.
Yeah, great question. A lot of it has a lot of the help has really come from being in a situation that I'm surrounded by great teammates. I have a great coaching. I have great support. And I'm in an area that I really do love. And for the most part, the biggest thing for me has just been getting back to work and getting in the groove of things. And the more I've done that, the more I've gotten into it. Just very positive correlation with how I've been mentally and all around.
Yeah, JT, you've probably been mostly in the news the last month or so just for NIL deals and everything else. Obviously, a lot of recognition has come your way as well as monetary rewards and that kind of stuff. Is there any kind of, this is new to everybody, so is there any kind of additional pressure you feel like that comes with that, with the all the rewards?
Good question. And no, absolutely not. I've been consistent with it since I've been asked about it. If a deal makes sense and it's not a time factor, and it's not going to take my attention away from anything that matters, we do it. And that's how I've been. That's how I'm going to continue to do it. you know, we're really focused on football. And I was, you know, when I said that June 1 is the start of football for me, June 1 is the start of football for me. I have good management. I think management is really handles pretty much the whole thing for me. If a deal made sense, then we signed it, and you know, I'm not focused on any of that anymore.
Okay, we got time for one more question, and for that, we'll go to Gene Sapikoff.
JT, what has Darian Kendrick brought to your team, and have you or will you get sort of any inside scouting report from him on Clemson?
Really good question. I love DK. Since he's been here, me and him talk a lot of trash to each other in practice. We have a really good relationship. I really like him, and he's a really good ball player. And then yeah, I'll ask him whatever I can, whatever I see, based on technique and, you know, certain things that Clemson does. But you know, really with DK, it's just awesome to have a really good competitor, really good ball player.
All right, JT, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stand by now for Nakobe Dean.